And so I started like binge watching all these board gaming channels. I just wanted to play a game that night. The whole thing was just fun and sort of like clanking them around in the bag and all that. There's a game for everybody. That just set off a whole thing for me all year. Hey there. Well, I am brand new to the board gaming world. Well, 1 year into it, I should say. And as you can tell from behind me, I have been enjoying myself the last year since I discovered the modern world of board gaming, I guess you should say. I'm 58 years old, and I have never been one really to play games. I mean, I played games growing up, the typical Sorry and Scrabble and that kind of stuff, and I liked it, but I was never like into it at all. And then when the genre of games like Pictionary and Gestures and Taboo, those types of games I always really loved. It's just that there wasn't really opportunity to play it that often, so I didn't get to enjoy it that often. But in general, I've never really been a game player, and so I kind of had dismissed it. Well, last year, about this time, one of my friends had me over one evening, and she was all excited because I think it was for Christmas. She'd gotten a new game, or somebody that was there for Christmas had brought it. I forget which. No, I think she got it for Christmas. Anyway, she's like, oh, guess what? I've got this really fun new game, and I love it. And the colors are amazing. And then the pieces feel so good in my hand, the weight of them and all this. And she says, would you be interested in, or no, she says, do you want to see it? And I was like, well, yeah, that sounds great. So she brings out Azul, and sure enough, you open it up and the tiles feel really nice in the hand, and the sound of them sounded good, and the color of them. I'm like, well, let's play. So we played, I think, just one game that night. And so I got to go through the process of learning the game. And, you know, I love the feel of the box, the look of the tiles, the insert in the box was beautiful. The whole thing was just fun and sort of like clanking them around in the bag and all that. Well, that just set off a whole thing for me all years. Like, I went out and bought that game like the next day. Went to Walmart and bought it. And me and my husband started playing it and having fun with that. And so I can't even remember exactly what happened, but somehow I was on YouTube and come across a board gaming channel where they were reviewing games that they like. I had no idea the world of board gaming, the modern world of board gaming. And it just blew my mind, and it was so exciting. And so I started like binge watching all these board gaming channels and discovering all kinds of interesting and amazing looking games, completely different than the games I grew up with. And so for the last year, basically, I've been buying games and also thrifting for games and learning about games and what a mechanism is and what sort of mechanisms I like in a game, and just having a lot of fun playing and discovering. So I bought the Azul, and then I think maybe it was only a week or so later, I had just enough of a taste of, oh wow, there's a whole lot of games out there. And I discovered in a nearby town where my son lives that there was a board gaming store. And so we were there on a weekend, just hang out with them. And so I immediately wanted to get a game to play. And I had a couple on my list. I don't even remember what they were, but I just thought, well, I'm going to go to that game store and see if I can find them. Well, I went, and the particular ones, I don't remember what they were, weren't there. It might have been Parks, might have been one of them. And I didn't really know what else to get, and so I'd asked my son if he knew of a board game that he had wanted to play. I just wanted to play these new type of games. Well, he had heard of and actually had played the board game Evolution, and it's an interesting story because we're all originally from Alaska, and I didn't realize that my daughter-in-law, how's this work? My daughter-in-law's best friend growing up in Alaska, her cousin is one of the designers of that game. And so when that game came out, I think it was a prototype or something, the family there had gotten a copy of it to try out. And so my son and my daughter-in-law had played it years ago in the prototype form and had thought it was interesting. So he was like, that would be cool if the game was there. Well, sure enough it was. So we got it and played it that night, and it was fun to learn. And dropped a load of cash to buy it. And that started off the change to our finances over the next year, because these games cost money. Anyway, so we got that game and just got kind of introduced to this whole different style of gaming. And I will say, like, the theme of that one wasn't necessarily one that I would be drawn to, but I just wanted to play a game that night, and my son was interested, so let's get it, because I didn't know what else to get. And it was fun, but I haven't played it a lot since, because it's really not a theme I'm into, but I really appreciated, like, the whole gameplay and the whole new experience of board gaming. After that night of playing Evolution, my wish list started to grow, like, immediately. I was just binge watching all these board gaming channels and getting a long list of games I would like to try out. And I had the thought from the beginning that this idea of mechanisms in a game sounded really fun, and I wanted to try to think about what, a theme that I like. For sure, aesthetically I wanted it to be fun, but I also was wanting to kind of try to get games in different categories of mechanism, like the focus of it. And so that dictated a little bit what I ordered right off the bat. So I put in an order from Game Nerds, because I don't have a local game boarding store that carries this kind of stuff. And I got Parks Summit Edition, Takenoko, plus the expansion Chibis, and Honey Buzz. I actually ordered 3 copies of Honey Buzz, because I also started the whole, I got to get these for gifts for people. This is so amazing. I want to, get everybody in on the deal. So I ordered 3 copies of Honey Buzz, having never played it. I'd watched one video. It was Board Game Garden girl, I forget her name. She was talking about how she loved playing that. And so I thought, get one for me. And my friend that introduced me to Azul, I thought, well, she's going to like this, and I'll expose her to this whole crazy world of board gaming. And then I thought, well, maybe my daughter would like it. So I'd ordered 3 copies of that. And what else was it? Let me check my notes here. It was, and 3 Sisters. Yeah, so Parks Summit, just the whole idea of hiking. I love to hike, and the aesthetics of it looked amazing. And the original parks, everybody loves so much. So that was like a no-brainer. And I thought, if I'm going in, I'm going all in and getting the Summit Edition. And then Takenoko with the expansion. And then 3 Sisters was a roll and write, which sounded interesting to me and was well loved. And then Honey Buzz had, like, I guess you would call it polyominoes. I'm still learning the board gaming terminology. And I thought, okay, well, that'll be interesting to see what that's like. So that was my first little chunk. Well, then also at the same time, I'm like, okay, I can't be buying all these games, at $40 to $60 a pop on average. So I started, like, just scouring the thrift stores also at that time, and looking some on Facebook Marketplace. There's hardly ever games I'm interested on for sale on there, but I do still check. But I actually found a lot of games at the thrift stores over this last year. Not any big ones that were on my list, but a lot of ones I would have been interested in, but probably wouldn't have spent the money to get them. Like Carcassonne, I thought, well, that doesn't totally, and I still haven't even played it yet. I just found that one a couple weeks ago. But it's a classic. A lot of people love it. So for me to spend $3 on it at the thrift store was fun, because now I can try it out and see what I think. And then my second big order, or normal new order, was, how long ago was that? Maybe 6 months ago or so, probably, on these. And that was Sky Team, which has been super fun. Dandelions, Motor City, after we loved 3 Sisters so much, it's another roll and write. That's pretty clever, another roll and write. And then Hive. My son had been introduced to that game, and so we got it too. My husband and my son both love chess, so that was a good one. And then I recently just got on day after Thanksgiving sale on Amazon. I got 3 chapters and King Domino. Haven't tried 3 chapters yet, but King Domino we played once and it seems fun too. So anyway, and then kids games. I've been buying kids games all year because I have 5 grandkids and I wanted games for my house and games for them. I've been getting for their birthdays and for Christmas and everything. So, I'm just spending money like crazy. And some were out of print, like Heroes of Cascaria. A lot of people had recommended that, so I ended up finding one on eBay to send to my granddaughters in Alaska. Had been looking for one in good condition for a good price. Finally found that one, and then I found one for me, for my house, maybe a month ago that I finally got, so I finally got to play it myself. So it's been super, super fun. We've played a lot of games, and in the last year, it's definitely been a fun thing as a couple. We don't have kids at home anymore. Our kids are adults and grown with their families, but it's been really fun for my husband Troy and I to have evening things especially to do besides watch a show on TV or something. And just creatively, inspirationally that way. Like the artwork of these games is so incredible. I just love the whole process of like a new game, like the feel of the box, the texture of the box, opening it up, the unboxing, the setting it all up, learning. It's most of the time super fun. We do butt heads a little bit sometimes, but because some of these games, like, take a couple hours to learn and go through the rule book the first time and all that, but most of the time it's just super fun and interesting. And it's really fun to do it with my husband where he don't know the game either, and we get to discover it together. I've only had a few experiences of learning from somebody else teaching, and I know that that can be frustrating depending on that person, how well or how good a teacher they are. I know a lot of people who say they hate games, and I think it's really not that they hate games, that they just hated the teaching experience, and or they played a game where they didn't understand the rules that well because they were new and everybody else was an expert and they just like slammed them and didn't explain anything. So it's too bad. I feel bad that there's so many people that think they hate games, or they're thinking that it's the same games as when we grew up. All these things factor in, but man, there's just so many themes out there that are so fun. So many different mechanisms that I think there's a game for everybody out there. Theme-wise, gameplay, length of game, all of that. So anyway, my husband and I have really enjoyed having this to do together, something to learn together. I am thinking here soon, I'm going to see if I can organize something in the community, like maybe at the library, like a board gaming night or something like that. I don't think I want to have strangers coming into my house, but I thought the library might be a good thing, like in a conference room or something. And then also I'm a little leery if I don't know these people, what games would I bring? Because I'm also a little protective of the games. Like I want to play them and have fun, but like, bending the cards or, like wiping your nose or, whatever. I'm not quite sure how I'll handle that part of it. So I have, really it's not a total count, but I have 34 new games to me. Some of them are secondhand, some of them are brand new over this last year, but that's not counting what I bought for other people. So in that regard, probably there's at least another 10 more that I have gotten for other people over the last year, at least. Actually, probably more like 20, because I run it kind of nuts. And I just gave more at Christmas time. So 1 year in, it's been super fun. I'm looking forward to having this in my life for the rest of my life. Just being able to enjoy board games with different people in different environments and get to experience the creative expression of it. It's so fun to see. And maybe in the future I'll be able to go to a board gaming conference or something. I think there's one in Portland, which is near me, so that would be fun. So 1 year into board gaming, and I have 34 games in my collection that's of the new style. I still have some of the classics from before. I still have my Pictionary and Backgammon and Battleship and a few of those Taboo that I've kept. But this is, I mean, I've had to make a whole new space in my house for them. This isn't where they normally are. I just brought them here so I could have them on display for this video. But yeah, just making room for board games. That's a whole nother deal. If you know, you know. All right, well, if you haven't tried out the new board gaming world out there, I suggest you go give it a go. Especially if you have a local board gaming store where you can go in and just peruse. Your mind will be blown. And at least the one that's in the town near me, they have open box display ones where you can actually like see what the components are and all that kind of stuff. So that's super helpful too. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.